What's going on, boys? My name is Joe. This is the Duel Factory, and in today's video, I'm going to be bringing you a Tri-Brigade zoo list that I actually took to my locals for the Lightning Overdrive sneak peek. Arguably, it is not the best list because one, I forgot the sneak peek was it in. We could use the new cards, but I wanted to show you what I got played anyway, especially since I got to actually play the new Link 2 monster, which I think is absolutely insane for this deck, and I think it actually bumps it up. It's here maybe even to the best deck of the format, but that might be a little bit of a stretch. However, I wanted to show you guys what I played, my thoughts on it, what I would change. Arguably, I'm still learning the combos because I'm still relatively new to the strategy. But enough about that. Before I get into the list, don't forget to check out the X2 Drop podcast. Hopefully, we'll have an episode put up by the time this video goes up. Me and Bingo HD are just trying to figure out our scheduling since he's over on the other side of the country, and I just recently took a promotion at my new job, so I have a little bit more on my plate to work with. Don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. Hopefully, he'll be having content coming up here fairly soon. And don't forget to check out Legacy Crusaders. He's an underrated YouTuber, but he's very knowledgeable, and if you want to learn, that'd be the place to go. But now let's go ahead and get into the actual profile of what I played for this sneak peek event. So to start off with the monsters, we start off with the Tri-Brigade cards. I played 3 copies of Fractal. Arguably, this is the best starter card for your deck. It's Beast Warrior. It's level 4. It's searchable through Tenki. There's not much to say. It's really, really good. The second best card is Tri-Brigade Kit. You can use this with Almirage as a starter card, and essentially does the same thing. Plus, it's a really good follow-up to search off your Nervals when you're resolving your revolts, so on and so forth. So there's that. I am only playing 2 copies of Kuraz. Arguably, it's not the best one to open. However, it's nice to be able to search this off of your Nervals as an extender, or if you just need it as a free body or whatnot. And then 3 copies of Nerval itself. It is your Rhoda. Not much to say on that one. It also works in tandem as a starter card with Almirage. And then that's it for the Tri-Brigade monsters. It's 11. On for the Zoo monsters, we play 1 copy of Rat, 1 copy of Ram, and 1 copy of Whiptail. These are all the ones that you need for the actual combos of the deck. It's very fluid, very easy to work with. Not much to say. I really like. I wouldn't change the ratios. There was one time I did draw Ram, and I had Tenki as well, and I really wanted to play the Thoroughblade, but I think it'd just be too much at that point, or it's more... I want to say win more, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's not necessary is the best way to explain it. And that's it for the actual Zoo monsters. On to the only hand trap I played in the deck was 3 copy of Ash Blossom. Now, this is something that I do want to change. I liked this hand trap, but something I thought that this deck could use was more hand traps instead of actual trap cards themselves. Because remember, I built this without remembering that Lightning Overdrive came out, and I think now that we have the Link 2, this deck would benefit with more hand traps versus actual trap cards. But this is why I played today. It was fine for a local level, but if I'm taking it to an event, I might change that up. But that is it for the monsters. Onto the spell cards of the deck. My favorite part of it is where we actually get to play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. Anything that lets you play this deck, I think automatically puts you ahead of the curve, because you're not altering the extra deck or anything like that. Yes, you banish the top 10 off the top of your deck, so you take away some of your resources, but the nice thing about the Tri-Brigade cards is once you have a Tri-Brigade monsters in rotation, especially with the trap card, you don't necessarily need more cards in the deck. So that's why I like it. 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. This is essentially 3 more copies of your Fractal, but the nice thing about this list is because we're playing Zoo monsters, you also have the added utility of finding your Zoo monsters and starting your combos that way. So that's why I think it's really, really good in this deck. 2 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. This card was probably one of my favorite that I got to play today. In this list, because you're using the Zoo engine to supplement your Tri-Brigade engine, 1 hand trap doesn't necessarily stop you in your tracks, so I like using this card as a way to rip out additional hand traps out of your opponent's hand, especially when you're playing against decks that can play 9 to 12 different hand traps. You also get free hand knowledge. If you need the extra card, you can draw 2 more off this card. If you need to be able to take away a pain-in-the-ass monster like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, you can do that. It just has a lot of utility in this deck because of such minimal engine requirements. So that's why I like it. I might bump it up to 3, but we shall see. And then I also played 1 copy of Zodiac Barrage. Not much to say. You open it, it's usually game. And then 1 copy of Foolish Burial. This is just another way to kickstart your deck. And then 1 copy of Called by the Grave to stop hand traps and essentially in their tracks. And then on to the trap cards. By far, the best card in the deck is Tri-Brigade Revolt. What can I say? It's essentially a Miracle Fusion for Tri-Brigade Link monsters, and the fact that this card is now searchable through the Bear Broom is literally insane. One of my favorite plays in the deck, honestly, is just setting up Rugal Shurag turn 1, and this card lets you do it, and not to mention you trigger all your Tri-Brigade monsters whenever you special summon them and link them off. It does a lot. Like, it's an insane card. Insane. Second best trap in the deck is Solemn Strike. I played this because I'm also playing Torrential Tribute. However, I hardly ever saw Torrential, but Strike alone by itself was really, really good. So it might be one of those cards that we keep in the deck. I'm not 100% sure, though. Speaking of Torrential Tribute, we're also playing 3 copies of Torrential itself. The idea is with this and Strike, you clear the board, but I never saw them in tandem together, so I don't know if it's actually that good or not. 2 copies of Trap Trick. I was playing this before I realized we can get the Link 2. Arguably, this card's probably going to come out of the deck now that I have so much more access to the Trap card, but you never know. It just depends on the list. And then 1 copy of Imperial Order. It's literally an auto-win if you flip it. And that was my main deck. It is 40 cards. On to the extra deck itself. We'll start with the Zoo monsters. We played the 1 copy of Borbo. Best way to make Zeus. And then the cards for your actual combo pieces are the Tiger Mortar, the Chalkanine, and the Trident. These are the ones that you need to actually do your combos with. And then 1 copy of Zeus himself. If you're going second, your opponent literally can't stop it. Or it's the best way to clear your opponent's board. For the Tri-Brigade Link monsters, 2 of the new card itself, Bearburn, for those of you who don't know, it has 2 effects. 1, you can discard 2 cards and target level 4 lower banished Beast Warrior Winged Beast monster in your banished pile and special summon it back to the field. That you can actually use that for some of the combos in the deck. It's actually kind of insane. Its other effect is when it goes to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade spell or trap from deck to hand and then put a card at the bottom of your deck afterwards. That makes Tri-Brigade Revolt searchable, which makes it insane. But enough about that. We also play 1 copy of Fairyjet. Arguably, I should probably be playing 2 copies of this and just 1 copy of the other Link 2, but I just felt more comfortable playing 1. Cards are really crazy. 1 copy of Rugal. My favorite setup is literally Rugal Revolt Pass. I might play another copy of this card, I don't know, but for me, this card was really, really good today. 2 copies of Shurag. I can literally write an entire web page of why this card is insane, but yeah, it's really good with Volt. That's all you need to know. And then for the other links, I play All Mirage, so that way your kits and Nerval are starter cards essentially. 1 copy of Dragon Lords for your combos, 1 copy of Appaloosa, and then 1 copy of Access Code Talker to push for game. And that was my Tri-Brigade Zoo list. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Arguably, there are some changes. I think I'll play less purple cards in this deck and play more actual hand traps. I want to learn other combos and stuff like that because I was learning them as I go. And the possibilities you can do with this deck are actually insane. But like I said, tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, hopefully we'll have another episode of X2 Drop coming up here pretty soon. My name is Joe from the Duel Factory. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.